welcome back to the Ollie Skelton show that everyone rates. The acronym for that is TOSSA. You are listening to the TOSSA podcast. We're in a new studio. Shout out to the guys at Pro Podcast Studios. I don't know if that's in frame. I don't think it is because we've only got 2 cameras. But I'm very excited about the guests that I have today. And we'll get into how it came to be in a moment. But it is none other than Angelo. How do I pronounce the last name?
Marasigan.
Marasigan.
I get that a lot. People are like, how do you pronounce your name? But if you literally read it how it is, Marasigan, then it should be self-explanatory.
Right. But how is it? So it's S-I-G-A-N.
So Marasigan.
Marasigan.
Yeah.
And Angelo, 10 million on TikTok, give or take.
Yeah, 10.7, I think, right now. Yeah.
1 million on Instagram. And we're very grateful to have him on. So thank you, Angelo.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it so much. So I wanted to start off with the first time we met, which was quite recently, actually. We were at a Sony event. Shout out to Sony. And I remember, so I saw you, and I actually thought when you, there was a little eye contact across the room, and I thought you were like, oh, I know those two off maths. So I was like, okay, I'm half, by those two, I mean Tanya and myself. So I was like, okay, I'm halfway there. I've got an in there. And I've always been really terrified of going up to people that I have a level of admiration for that I do with you. And so I remember I was like, I'm going to finish this drink and I'm just going to say, hey, love your work, dude. I think you're awesome. And
except you weren't a drink in, you were like 3 bottles in.
That was it. That was where we had the second conversation. But true. And so, but I remember I go up and I'm like, and I'm freaking out as soon as I'm making the walk. And I'm like, oh God, this is just, and I'm in my head and I go, hey dude. You're like, hey. And then I'm like, I'm like, hey, I just want to say I really love what you do. And you fanned me. You were like this. You were like, thanks. Yeah, thanks. No, cool. You gave me nothing. You gave me nothing.
Honestly, because I think I did get a first weird impression from you because you were half drunk. So you came up to me like, I really love your content, man. And I was just wondering if you want to be on a podcast now. I was just,
That is not true. But
it is.
I would love to know, what did you think what was your first impression on me? What did you get?
Well, first when I gave that half smile sort of thing, I feel like I did see you guys somewhere. So that's why, I was being friendly. I was smiling.
Yeah.
But then later in the night when you came up to me and I was like, oh, what is he going to say? Is he like, does he know who I am? Does he watch my content? And then you
already said that I watched your content. I already said it. I was like, I'm a fan.
Not upon the first smile, but later in the night when you came up to me and you were like, oh, I love your content. I'd love to get you on the pod. I was like, okay, let's do it.
And then I said, oh, can you follow me on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, sure. And we both agreed that you were probably going to unfollow me when you got home. And you didn't.
I unfollowed the tosser. But I do have something to say back to that. It's because you didn't follow me back on the Tosser Pod account.
Did I actually not?
No, you didn't. I'm still following you on your main account.
Well, I'm going to blame that on the social media manager, Charlotte. Come on, man.
Come on, Charlotte.
Just work it out. But no, I thought it was a Hail Mary, but look, it's worked out great. So the many questions that I wanted to ask, if we ever did get you on the podcast. Number one, I think we would say we're both from the impression game.
I have been doing impressions for a while on TikTok. My first ever one is in 2019 when I did Australian television voiceovers. So I just got scripts from online, got scripts from YouTube and just copied them. And I think it got 500,000 likes. And obviously in 2019, 500,000 likes on TikTok.
It's like 1 billion today.
Is is a billion now with like and follower inflation. But yeah, I first got viral in 2019, but then it was around late last year when I started doing Kim Kardashian impressions and skits about the Kardashians is when my account really took off. I started at 1 million last year and now I'm currently sitting on 10 million just from the Kardashians, the vlogs that I'm doing, the dances, singing, just stuff like that.
With the Kim Kardashian voice, how long did it take you to get to that where it's like, it is what it is now?
Honestly, just seeing all of the love and support from the fans and like people actually recognizing me as Kim Kardashian on the streets. Sometimes I'm on the streets and people are like, oh my gosh, Kim Kardashian and Kourtney Kardashian to my sister. And we're just like, wait, where's Kim Kardashian? Like, is she behind us?
But I mean the voice itself. Like it's like there's when you first started doing it, it probably didn't sound anything like what it sounds like now. Was it? Yeah. So when did you think that you got it to the point where you're like, this is pretty fucking close?
Honestly, after just doing the same type of content 100 times, the same type of video, at first it was definitely lower. It was like this.
Yeah.
It didn't really sound like them.
Right.
And then throughout the months, it kind of just went higher and like very nasally and very vocal fry. So
And you know what I love? That you got into it straight away with that. You knew I was freaking angling to ask you to do the impression. I want to see if I can do it right. I want you to rate.
Okay, I'll rate it. I'll see how you do it.
Can you give me something to say?
Say one of my phrases. It's not professional and it's not ethical.
It's not professional and it's not ethical.
You really had to close your eyes for that?
So if you had to rate it out of 10, what would you give that right then?
I'd give that a good 6 out of 10.
That's what I thought.
Because the vocal fry was there. The tone and the pitch was just a bit off.
You gotta go like a little bit higher.
Just go speak through your nose and just...
Oh my God. I don't think I could ever get to that decibel. Speak through your nose.
That's better. That was good. Yeah.
When I do it like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm in.
But it sounds like you're an LA local ready to order an acai bowl or something. I think, yeah.
Acai.
Acai bowl.
What am I doing? I'm sorry. It's so
cut that out.
It's so bad. The producer has his hand in his head, in his face right now. He's like, give it a rest. You're a young kid in this. Essentially, you're not 20 yet, are you?
No,
I love that
I'm
you
not.
said thank you to that.
Thank
You're
you.
Like, I am young. Yes.
No, but sometimes I feel like it is kind of cool to be doing all of this at a young age.
For sure.
Because I started TikTok when I was 15 and actually starting it as a business now, I really get to see and experience everything that is in this industry.
What do you think? I remember being 19 and thinking that the age that I am at now was ancient.
Really?
And I want to know, honestly, what do you like? What do you think is old in your mind? Because I
think the age that I'd reach and think, oh, this is old, I am old, I've made it through most of life is 62.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
If I saw someone that was 25 when I was 19, I was like, it's all downhill from there.
No, but I have heard that when you're 25, like 24 to 25, that's kind of the stage where you're like, this is what life is. I think I get it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's this, I feel like there is a moment when you hit 24, 25, you're like, oh, okay, this is where I'm at. This is my mind. You know, they say it fully develops. Like, I think I'm fully aware of kind of who I am a little bit.
Yeah. And
then you grow on that as well. So you expand on that. And it's like, then 28, you've got that 4 years of, like wisdom with don't do that. But you've got this 4 years of wisdom of like, I am of those 4 years after that. Does that make any sense?
Yes. Okay. I know what you mean.
Thank God. All right. Yeah. So it's the other thing that I wanted to ask is, do you think like what are your gripes with millennials?
Honestly, some of them have matched Gen Z humor,
Right.
but some of them are still in their mustache Tumblr phase.
Oh, wow.
Are you one of them?
Can you give me some examples of the mustache Tumblr phase?
Sharing Minion memes on Facebook.
No 27-year-old is sharing a Minion meme. That's the 45s. That's boomer. That's boomer
No, I
Gen X.
have seen 27-year-olds post
Really?
Minion memes on my Facebook page.
Well, you need to delete those people because they are the outlet. But would you say that I think because noticing the new gen coming up, there is a difference.
Yeah.
And it's weird that you don't really realize until you get into that later in your 20s that you're like, oh yeah, there is going to be another wave of people that are going to be different to you based on the circumstances. Are there any other differences that you think of when you think of what a millennial is? What don't they get about Zoomers? Which is you. Think about the millennial that you know, and what don't they get? Are they like, because that Tumblr phase is what we grew up on for that early part of our life. It was very Facebook prominent as well.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really Instagram. Instagram was new. TikTok, a lot of us, because I am that technically. I try hard not to be it, but I am.
Yeah.
This is me trying hard not to be it. See, I hang with all of them, dude. I'm hip with it, dude. Yeah. So do you notice any other differences? Because maybe I'll go into what I notice about this.
Honestly, I don't notice that many differences other than from a personality aspect and the humor aspect. But I'd like to know what you think the differences are.
It feels like you guys are buzzing.
What do you mean by that? That could mean a million things.
Like, it just feels like you're on a different frequency of like stimulation.
Do you mean like energy as well?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I mean. It's like a buzz of, so when I worked back in Perth in my office job, Tip Tap, away on the keyboard, and then I had this sales coordinator and her name was Sab. And shout out to Sab, by the way, fan of the show. And she came into, the first time I met her, I was like, I've never met this type of person before. And it was like, it's very much like, have you seen that video of that girl that's crying as she's celebrating and the camera pans and she's like,
no, I haven't.
You haven't seen that?
I haven't.
Oh my God. But it's like,
is this an old video? Is that why you've seen it?
I want to see.
Is this why I haven't seen it?
Because she's a Zoomer.
Okay.
She's a Gen Zer. But it's like very aware, self-aware of their mental health.
Yeah.
That I think the millennials were trying to understand themselves. The Gen Xers have dabbled in, and the boomers will never. And it's like it's aware of their mental health, kind of like they're in their own movie and see the funny side of the dark things.
Yes.
And look,
I think I understand what you're saying now,
thank
especially
you.
with the whole main character movement going on.
Yeah.
Like every Gen Zer feels like they're a main character. And sometimes I am guilty of that. Sometimes just walking around the streets with my music on, acting like a main character with my coffee.
Yeah.
And sometimes that could get to us and we're just like, oh, we are not the main character. Everyone is. So it's not really us being the main one.
Is everyone the main character?
Well, to them, yes.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You don't reckon anybody would feel like I'm an NPC in my own life?
I mean, some people might feel like that.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like most people in Gen Z have that main character energy, which is why you feel like they're always buzzing and full of energy.
That's true. Yeah. And it's also, if you think where they've grown up with a camera in the front of their phone.
Yes.
And Instagram stories, Snapchat stories, Instagram stories, like everything and anything in you can kind of live your own movie.
Yeah.
Really. And
like it's literally a movie. You're filming it.
Yeah.
So essentially everyone is a main character.
Have you seen that thing that has popped up recently about people like pretending to be NPCs?
No, I haven't seen that.
Dude, you are this 10 million TikTok killer. And here
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I don't consume as much content as I did before.
Right.
Because I feel like it's just been frying my brain.
You know what shits me about TikTok? And look, I know there's an affiliation there. You're their godchild currently in Sydney. But I feel like every time I get notifications, they're the same notifications.
What do you mean like what type of notifications?
I can't always have these notifications. I never don't have notifications on TikTok. And I'll go in and I'll be like, I swear I've seen this shit.
I don't get those because I turned it off.
I'm trying to improv. You got to say yes and. No, you don't have to say that.
Okay, yes and.
Yeah, no, I think I think the dopamine hit of the TikTok world is one that they have worked out perfectly, where I do have the notifications on, and not the notifications on the screen of my phone, but the notifications on like whenever I go into the app, and it always seems to be red. Whereas like Facebook back in the day was like you might get one in a blue moon. Do you have Facebook?
Yes, I have Facebook.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. My notifications are always the same on TikTok. It says new account updates, and
that's what I said. Yeah. That's what I meant, but you said no at the start.
Because I thought you meant the push notifications on your phone.
All right. What else do I have? No, but yeah, I do feel like there is such a difference between the Zoomer culture, and I'd be interested in what the next one coming through when you are the 28-year-old.
When I'll feel old and the Gen Alpha is making fun of us.
It's Gen Alpha.
Yeah, I think Gen Alpha is the one below us.
Right.
Gen Alpha is the one watching Cocomelon, Baby Shark, that type of content. Yeah.
And what do you think of that? Baby Shark's a hell of a song.
Yeah, it is really catchy.
It is a bop. Like, I feel like, and it's got widespread reach.
Yeah, I feel like our throwback songs is going to be very different to theirs. Theirs is very much nursery rhymes and Cocomelon.
Yeah, no shit.
Cocomelon
was, what was that again? The Cocomelon one was like, yes, papa, or whatever.
Will this get copyrighted?
Potentially. Go on. The whole thing gets pulled off like a thing. But yeah, no, it's going to be weird where it all goes. So obviously you've got another main character in your TikToks.
Yes.
Your beautiful sister. And I would love to know, did you have a really good relationship from the start? What's the age gap? Why isn't she here today? How are you the big star and she is not? And how does she feel about that?
That sounded so mean. No, but Lexi and I, we've always been close when we were younger. We actually have an older sister as well, but we don't show her in our content because she doesn't really like the camera, and we respect that. We don't want to shove and force a camera in front of her face.
And she's a millennial, and I
think she is around your age as well. And we do make fun of her for being old. But honestly, yeah, me and Lexi, we always have been really close. We've always been making stupid little trailers on iMovie. Did you do that as well?
As a millennial, yes. I was making movies on iMovie and songs on GarageBand, and I'm talking bops like beep bop, beep bop. And I'd be like,
the iPad microphone.
Yeah,
as well.
I'd be like, Dad, come have a listen. He'd be like, keep going, son. And then you'd have like a voiceover and it'd be like distorted that you'd be doing in your iPad. What's up? Shut up. Look, this is a millennial life, but it's great to see that you dabbled in that. So you start making movies on iMovie, and where does it go from there?
We also did stuff on Video Star where you lip sync to videos.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that app. It was on iPad and iPhone.
No, I don't remember.
Hashtag not sponsored. But yeah, we've always just had fun making silly small videos, skits, and then showing our families on Sunday when we'd go to our grandma's house.
Yeah.
Honestly, our video creativity just kind of took off from there. In 2019, I didn't really show my sister at all.
Yeah.
She would be in a few vlogs and a few skits here and there.
Yeah.
But it was last year when I started incorporating her more into my vlogs, into my skits.
Yeah.
People are like, oh my gosh, we love her too. And then her account started growing. I think she's around 800,000 followers on TikTok now, just in the span of a year. Same with Instagram. She's on like 70,000 as well.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of how she's doing on social media as well.
I love that. I love that. Can you compartmentalize? Like, do you realize you have 10 million people, but 10 million is like nearly half of Australia.
You know, I still can't comprehend it sometimes.
Right?
It doesn't make sense. Because when you're in a stadium, there's 2,000, 3,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that there's times...
What stadium are you at where there's only 2,000 or 3,000 people? That's like it's an auditorium.
I meant 20 to 30,000 people. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 20 to 30,000 people. And then I'm just sitting there thinking, how is it 10 million people who've pressed that follow button and know who I am? It does feel kind of weird, especially from it happening very fast.
I always feel like right now, I feel like I am just chasing tail, you know? Like I don't feel like I'm ever ahead or at the point of comfortability. Do you feel that?
But isn't that a good thing? Because you want to keep on trying and being better and growing more and trying to push yourself to your full potential.
Yeah, but then, okay, if that's the case, then are we always going to be pursuing that and not have the opportunity to be like, yo, I need to chill?
I think it's a good balance to have both.
Yeah.
Appreciating what you have, but working more towards a bigger goal.
Where do you want to be?
Well, I've never looked at followers as a goal, like need to be on this specific number by next month, this specific number. I've honestly only started content for, making people laugh.
Yeah.
And the fact I get to do it as a living now is so cool.
Right.
And
see, I would say the same thing, right? I would say the same thing, but I think making people laugh, like I could make 5 people laugh. But for some reason, there's a difference in the validation you get from the more people that we make laugh. So why is it like that we're constantly wanting that more? Look at me. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to be fucking Joe Rogan with these fucking questions. But I feel like it's a fair question.
No, it is a fair question. I just don't know how to answer that because that was so deep.
This episode is sponsored by Arnott and elk meat. I don't know where I was going with that. That's what Joe Rogan does. But yeah, it's just crazy. Like I feel like validation comes in different forms, and like I want to make people laugh, but I also want a lot of people to laugh. So why is that?
I think it's because you don't want your comedy to go to waste. You want your comedy to reach as many people as possible.
Right.
And I also get that feeling as well where I'm just thinking to myself, I want, as many people to see how hard I worked on this funny skit that me and my sister made.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where the growth mindset comes from. Yeah. It's not just the number specifically, but I totally get what you mean by that.
And I think a massive thing is social proof as well. So like social proof of other people that don't know you, seeing people love your stuff. And there's something in that builds credibility.
Yeah. Or when a celebrity recognizes your work, you just feel like, oh, this just feels amazing.
And it feels so weird,
yeah.
Right? Which is such a bizarre concept because then they're probably thinking...
Like, I don't even imagine celebrities on phones.
Yeah.
So it's weird to know that they've interacted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is bizarre. So do you have... Who was somebody... aside from me that loved your work?
You wish. I'm kidding.
Yeah. It's definitely, you're like, okay.
I'm like,
but who was somebody that loved your work that you were like, whoa, this is such a trip?
Honestly, a lot of the content creators I grew up watching have interacted or even followed my TikTok and my Instagram, and I was so starstruck. Do you know the creator Bretman Rock?
No.
Anyway, he's a massive Filipino creator.
Yeah.
But he's from Hawaii.
Right.
He followed me around like a few months ago and I was so starstruck. I told my whole family. I posted about it on Instagram. I've also had other influencers that I watched growing up follow me as well.
It is crazy. And like,
It's just definitely such a cool feeling seeing these people that I actually watched on YouTube and TikTok, and then knowing the idea that they know me.
Yeah.
It feels very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that we could do an impression off? So do you have any other impressions other than Kim K?
I can do the Woolies checkout voice that
I feel like
that
I
went
could do
viral. That went viral on my TikTok once.
Okay.
Unexpected item in the bagging area.
Yeah, that's
Follow the pin pad prompt to finalize your payment.
That's very good.
Thank you.
That's bloody unreal. Okay.
All right. Well, I can do
Wow.
tradie from now that I'm in Sydney. I can do it like tradie from Maroubra. How you just got to go down the guts, and if you give it like 110%. Now the boys really put in a lot of effort, and I think what's the most amazing thing is hard work. Tenacity really pays off. So, all the best to the boys back at home.
That was really good. But it also kind of sounded like the Hungry Jack's ad.
Which I didn't do on camera before.
The Angry Whopper.
The Angry Whopper.
Now available at Hungry Jack's for a limited time.
You just gave them free promo.
There you go. Sponsor. Come on. You got any others? Who else do I do?
I can do Siri, but it is kind of similar to...
Yeah, Siri's. I still want to hear it.
Well, which Siri do you want? There's an Australian and there's an American one.
We go to the American one because the Australian Siri would be close to Woolies Go. I reckon the same person.
All Australian robotic voice is actually higher pitched.
Yeah.
Whereas the American one is very down in the chest.
Right.
It's very unexpected item.
Right.
It's very low.
See, I was trying to learn the American accent for a while, and it's like apparently you've got to do it. It's really relaxed in the jaw,
Jaw. That was very like New York.
I always do the fucking Boston accent, pepperoni pizza, the motherfuckers.
That was really good.
Thanks. Thank you.
I wish I could do a New York accent, but I can't.
But I think LA is kind of cooler, to be honest.
They're just very slow with their pronunciation. But I kind of like it because you really understand what they're saying.
What's like an American male LA, would you say? Is it kind of like what I'm doing now? No.
Yeah. No, I've heard some people talk like that. And so like...
Yeah.
R.I.P. headphone users.
True, actually. True. Okay. Well, you want to know something that we also do? Actually, can we talk about Lil Tay? Can we talk about Lil Tay? Do you think she is dead? Apparently she's not.
I'm just confused because I've seen so many TikToks saying she's dead, and then when I scroll saying she's alive, and then TMZ saying she's dead, and then TMZ deletes it, and then they put up another article later saying she's alive 2 hours later, and I'm just thinking, I'm just going to sit back, not think about it at all, and then just wait till she comes out with a live stream or a video saying, hey, I'm not dead.
That's what I want. I want Lil Tay going like, you motherfuckers, I'm here in this fucking LA house, alive as hell. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Except now it's going to be so different because she's 15.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
She like comes out of the coffin like, you motherfuckers thought that I was fucking dead.
But I just find it so weird because I've never heard of a celebrity or a social media personality faking their death.
What?
For a publicity stunt?
Is that sarcasm?
No, I've actually never heard of someone doing it.
I guess they don't. But she is like, I feel like Lil Tay is everything that is wrong with the world embodied into a character because it's clearly not her.
Yeah.
But it's like greed, money, status, and it's and then it's that in a weird way, that fake personality character then generates all this like social currency as well. And it's, I don't know, kind of fucking makes me feel weird. Rest in peace, Lil Tay, man. You did your thing. Here's a beautiful thing that we do on the Tosser podcast. So we call it the Hottie Hotline.
Hottie Hotline, okay.
So what people do is they ask questions. Now, I did a call out yesterday for people to call in to the Hottie Hotline, aka leave voice messages on Instagram.
So first one for Angelo is, how did he discover he was so good at doing an impression of Kim Kardashian? And second question is, how did he come up with the idea in general of just doing such creative, fun and hilarious little skits? Hope this helps. Thank you.
And that was from the lovely Bridie. And you can tell she's amped, dude. She is amped. So which one you want to answer, or you want to answer both?
I'll answer both of them, honestly.
Love it.
First of all, thank you, Bridie, for such a nice comment. That was really sweet. When I first started doing the Kardashian voice, I learned that I could do it, honestly, when I was 10.
Right.
Yeah, when I was 10, I was just always speaking
in a high-pitched, nasally voice.
Yeah.
I didn't speak like that at school, or else I'd get made fun of and thrown into a dumpster or something.
But I've just always had a naturally high-pitched voice. And when I've seen people do impersonations and impressions of the Kardashians on TikTok, I would just thought to myself, you know what? It's my turn to do the impression as well. It's my turn.
Yeah.
So I did the impression, and my sister was in the video as well. And people were actually shocked by it because they didn't expect to see the voice coming from an Asian 50-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, how does he sound like that?
Yeah.
And then I just kept making more and more videos with that quirky voice. And for her other question about where do I get the ideas for these fun skits, honestly, just through watching reality TV. I have this series where I pretend to be characters in Extreme Cheapskates, My Strange Addiction. So I'm like, hi, I'm Barbara. I'm 39. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'm an extreme cheapskate. And
you did the eyes, which I completely forgot about, and sent me into another dimension. Those, like those. How do you get your eyelids to do that? Like, right?
I don't know. Like, they just, my eyes just go this big. I don't know how I do it.
I think that's going to be funny.
Now you just look possessed.
Yeah, right. So, yeah, My Strange Addiction is pretty funny.
Because My Strange Addiction has always had these larger than life, very different.
Quite literally sometimes.
Yeah.
I said it. Yeah, like it's, I don't know. Who the hell watches that show and goes, you know what? These guys are going to make me look good. And I got to do it. I've been eating toilet paper for the last 30 years. And I can't see how people aren't going to love me for that.
I think sometimes it's just some people wanting their 15 seconds of internet fame. Because they get talked about a lot, all of the people on My Strange Addiction. And I'm like, no way that's real.
Do you reckon sometimes they're faking it?
I'd say half of it is fake. And then the other half is real. But then it makes you kind of feel bad for the real other half because...
like, they're getting,
because they're being used for entertainment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they did ask to be on the show. I don't think they got scouted for it. So it is kind of weird.
I saw one where a dude married his car, man. And then...
yeah, and they showed a make-out scene as well. And he starts licking the steering wheel. And my parents are like, what the fuck are you watching?
And then he starts hanging around the exhaust and you're like, get away. Like, what are you
We already
doing?
know what's going to happen next.
Yeah. But it's... you know what else I think is fake on this is bloody catfish.
No, that actually...
It can't
be real.
It can't. These people are like, he's been saying he's Drake Bell for like the past 15 years and he can't not be, man.
And they're always like, he just never has his camera working, so we never FaceTime. And then the guy's like, how long has his camera not been working for? And she's like, 8 years.
Yeah.
So you've been talking for 8 years and the camera hasn't been working? And she's just like, yeah, and I still love him. And
then they rock up and the girl or the guy's always like...
and it's like the person's cousin.
Yeah. And then there's this point where they're like, am I gonna still allow this?
Yeah.
They're like, so you want to get ice? You want to go get a coffee or something? And they're like, yeah. And then it didn't work out between them. But
I don't think I've seen any episode where it actually worked out.
Yeah, I really have only seen 3, and I think I was kind of making that up just to like keep the conversation going. But I think, reality TV like that is bizarre, right? You can't do that to me.
No, I'm trying to respond, but like the questions that you ask me
They're not questions.
is the
They're
only
like-
type of questions where I say yeah.
They're like self-narrating questions
Yeah.
as well. So it's like, okay. Hottie Hotline, that's what we're doing, by the way.
Oh yeah, we're still on that. We're still on that segment.
Okay, Hottie Hotline. Here we go. What else do we have? And this is a good one. This is from Alyssa, who was actually on my show this year that I did because I was on reality television. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I gave you a little bit of a stalk
Love
after
that.
meeting.
I am a massive fan. I want to know how you perfected your iconic Kardashian accent. I need to know.
I feel like we did answer that 3 times.
Hi, Angelo. Me again. I also need to know, do you and your sister fight? And like, what has been your biggest fight in your life? We need the goss.
Did I ask you that?
No, you haven't.
Well, there we go. Great question by Alyssa.
I don't remember our biggest fight,
Right.
but we've definitely had things where we haven't spoken to each other for 2 days.
Oh, so you're
One of them
passives.
involved me throwing tomato sauce at her. I don't remember how it got there, but I threw tomato sauce at her.
What sort of tomato sauce are we talking? We're
Like,
talking bottle?
We're talking bottle.
Wow.
Yeah.
So not just like the sachets.
No, it's not just a sachet that got, squeezed onto her. It was an actual like, oh, I'm annoyed at you. Throw tomato sauce at you.
Whoa. Did she get hit?
Yeah, but it was in the stomach, so not anything major. But I still feel really bad for doing that. But just fights in general, we do have our fights. People always think that we're this very close siblings that don't fight at all.
Yeah.
And while we are very close, I feel like every time we fight, we just sort it out after 2 minutes. Like we'd get mad at each other and then 2 minutes after, I just say, do you want McDonald's? Like, do you want to make it up?
Mm.
And then
So are you the one that makes that initiation or is
Yeah.
it her?
sometimes it's a mix of both. Yeah.
So it's like a perfect, I guess perfect in that sense.
Yeah, we have fought like behind the scenes of a video once, and it was kind of ironic because in our Kardashian videos we fight a lot,
Yeah.
and we were actually fighting about that fighting video. So I think it was 10 p.m. We're both tired,
Yeah.
but people wanted another video, and we're like, we've got to make this.
Right.
And then she was like, I'm tired. I have school tomorrow. I have 2 assessments due tonight, and I have 4 pieces of homework that I haven't started. And I'm like, I don't care. We've got to make this. I don't care. We have to make this video. Like I have my 2 uni assessments due tonight as well that I haven't started. I quit uni, by the way. We can get into that later.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But yeah, we've just both had a lot on our plate. So we're very stressed at in that moment. So she was crying, and then I'm the type of person to like when I see someone crying, I will cry as well.
Right.
So we were both crying that night.
Yeah.
And then we just canceled that video and rescheduled it to another day.
Yeah.
And that video performed really well. What people didn't know is that there was a lot of crying behind the scenes behind that. But yeah, there's definitely a lot that people don't see because it's not like I would want to show that part of us on social media, us fighting. And I don't think it would be good to show that anyway.
No. But you don't think that because I feel like there's a thing that some creators have where, and I guess people can distinguish that parody from you as a person. But then you've got some people, and I guess I would say some people like Lil Tay, where people assume that that person is her. And you get these people that have an idea of you, an idea of the character. Maybe they love the character, but then you don't love the character anymore. And there's a disconnect there. And then you start not liking the content, but you're doing it to serve a purpose. Do you think that you will have that with any of your content? And why don't you want to show that side of you? Is it because you think people won't like it, or you wouldn't like showing it?
Not necessarily the characters and the sides of myself that I don't like showing. I think just in general, not showing negativity on social media that much because I don't really like venting and crying on social media. I love watching people cry and vent on social media.
That's what I mean. Though.
Like
People might love it.
Trisha Paytas crying on the kitchen floor about something that happened to her last night. But for some reason, I don't know, I haven't felt comfortable to cry on camera.
Right.
And it just wouldn't make sense seeing all these parodies and skits of me, and then the next video is me crying on the kitchen floor.
So true. So do you think there's ever a time in where you'll be like, I feel like I got to hang the boots up with this certain character and then on to the next? Like, is the Kim Kardashian one for you? Do you still love it?
Yeah, I still love doing it because I've found that balance between doing a mix of everything.
Yeah.
Because on my account, I have gotten to a point where I was like, am I overdoing this or am I underdoing this? So I feel like now I'm at the right balance of giving the right amount of Kardashian content and the right amount of skits, right amount of vlogs, just to balance everything out, because some people follow me for different reasons. They like me from my dances, my singing videos, my travel vlogs, and to just solely push one piece of content every day, I'd get sick of it. And I feel like the audience would get sick of it too, because people want to watch you grow as a creator. They don't want to see the same stuff for 10 years. Yeah. That's why when you look at creators now who have not changed at all, like who haven't had any type of change in content or who haven't spiced it up, it just kind of makes you think, oh, that, I should have.
You know who stuff I've been loving recently, and they've just entered the music scene? Colleen Ballinger. Have you heard her? Have you heard a new song?
We can't talk about her. She's cancelled. Did you not know that? Oh, how did I not catch on to that?
You know what I was thinking of doing this year? I was thinking of doing a Christmas album.
You should.
Like, I don't want to laugh for Christmas. What do you think of that? Good voice?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Mariah Carey is quaking.
Mate, I love Mariah Carey. No, do you know Ricky Lee?
Yes, what about Ricky Lee?
Love her.
I don't know who that is.
What the heck? Oh, this is a good game, actually. Who do you not know, dude? Zuma v. Millennial. Hamish and Andy?
No.
No way.
Jojo Siwa.
No. John Howard.
No. Ollie Skelton.
That dude's ass. But I didn't know him, so give me one.
Do you know Millie Bobby Brown?
I do know Millie Bobby Brown.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding. Guy Sebastian.
Oh, yes. Someone mistaken me as Guy Sebastian at a football game, and I was like, do I look like Guy Sebastian?
That's bizarre.
Bad Baby.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? What was her song? So don't get... Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I know.
okay.
Geeked up. Yep. I'm dabbling in both, dog. Dr. Chris Brown.
I know Chris Brown. I don't know Dr. Chris Brown. Sky Jackson.
No, who's that? What's she do?
She's an actress, Disney. Do you know Jessie?
Jessie who? Ricky Gervais.
No.
Really?
No, I don't.
Oh my God, dude. That is crazy, man. I think that was a fun game to play at the end.
Yes.
Right.
But we tied, so... Or I think you won.
I definitely won. Did I win? Did I win? Okay. No,
Okay.
I love it. Well, I want to thank you so much, Angelo. I hope this was one of your first podcast experience.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And I hope you come back soon in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you got a little project. Oh, and plug away to whoever you want to plug to, because it is an Australian, it is a UK audience. There's a little bit of an audience that you could tap into that's not here. So say what you got to say to who you got to say.
My name is Angelo Marasigan. If you haven't seen my face before, you can find me on my socials at _Angelo Marasigan on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, and Threads. And there I post comedy skits, vlogs, travel vlogs, dances, singing, and recipes sometimes, and voice impressions. Just a mix of everything that you might want to enjoy and watch.
I will say this, the skin is as porcelain in real life. It's bloody stunning. So,
thank you.
No, thank you for coming along. You've been listening, the Ollie Skelton show that everybody rates. The acronym for that is TOSSA. Yes, thank you. And we'll see if you could just wave to the camera. Beautiful. Beautiful.